Got traffic there. Last there, just take it up to the departure end of the runway, then a left turn and a left downwind. Cessna over the threshold, coming up on the white dot, at or beyond the white dot, left turn first available. I got a high wind coming up on about a half-mile final, clear to land at or beyond. Traffic on the left face, you're following a Cessna down, low off your left. Square it up just a little bit, and then we're going to get you in. Start your descent, though. Start your descent on the base. Traffic on final, give me follow on base. Base traffic, start turning toward the numbers now. High wing coming up on quarter-mile final, take it all the way down to the green. Cessna taxiing on the green, expedite down to the next hard surface. Get me some speed, there you go, 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 go fast. This is going to be good. I got traffic on a mile final, you're following traffic ahead and to your right. High wing coming up on the threshold, take it all the way down to the green dot.
5 Charlie Sierra, 2 mile final.
A mile final, turn north, and we're going to just make you, we're going to bring you back around. Jet traffic's coming up on about a mile and a half final, runway 9er clear to land.
Okay, all right, let's listen up, guys. If you're on final for runway 9, I want you to offset to the left. I got a jet that's landing on runway 9. The jet's cleared to land runway 9 if you can make it. If not, just continue straight ahead. It looks like you're going around for the jet. That's fine, that's fine, that's fine.
Oh, we had one right in front of us, sir.
Dragger. Let's see, what we got, a tricycle. Tricycle, put it down. Tricycle, put it down. Tricycle, put it down. Tail dragger, down to the green dot, then a left turn. Short final here, you cleared land on 9, all the way to the white dot, go down to the white dot. Find somebody to follow out here. Canard, just come to the runway and I might have to just send you around. That'll be fine. And for the jet, you just want to stay in this pattern or you want to go back out for an instrument approach?
Stay in a pattern, Charlie Sierra.
All right, just stay with me here for a minute. And my tail dragger, let's see, over the numbers, go down to the green. And Canard's going to have to go around. Canard, go around. Canard, go around. Canard, go around. And my high wing here over the runway, keep it airborne. Keep it airborne. Do not descend. Do not descend. You got a fast guy behind you. Do not descend. There you go. Keep it airborne. Keep it airborne. As soon as the guy behind you gets slowed down, I'm going to put you down. So keep it airborne. The one that just passed the white dot, make a left turn on the hard surface. All right, my high wing tail dragger, you can put it down now. You can put it down now. And Charlie Sierra, let me get you about a mile off. Let's see, Charlie Sierra, I lost. There you are. Make a left-hand turn. I'll try to resequence you here on the downwinds. We'll see how it looks. Short final, you're clear to land runway 9 on the white dot. Clear to land on the white dot. There you go. And the tricycle left on the hard surface and follow the flagman. Welcome. Thanks for being part of the show. And let's see, just find somebody to follow out follow on the final. And as you get close to the runway, if it's not going to work, we're going to send you around and then try to resequence you. Now, who else got sent around that's not back on the downwind? The Canard?
Yeah, Canard.
All right, Canard, there's a Gulfstream up there that went around too. I just lost sight of him, but you're going to make kind of a left-hand turn and stay low. I think Charlie Sierra, what's your altitude?
3,200.
Okay, that'll be fine. Just maintain VFR. I don't know what else is up there above you. Probably most everybody's down here, so just make a left-hand turn. We'll try to get you back here.
Canard's got the jet in tight.
Okay, the RV, maybe an RV-10, whatever, here on final. Keep your speed up and go all the way down to the, aim for the green dot for me. Actually, keep your speed up. There's a guy behind you. Aim for the green dot, and I'm sure that's plenty of room for you to land on runway 9. You're clear to land on runway 9. Number 2, you're going to go down to the white dot. Follow the white dot. Actually, you know what? That's 1,500 feet. You're going to land at the white dot. The spacing looks adequate here. 2 guys on final. You're kind of tight there. Keep each other in sight, and you're going to aim for the white dot. If it's not going to work, we'll come up with a plan B. We might have to send you around. The second guy behind you out there in about a 2-mile final. Are you slow enough to be able to follow that guy in front of you? You need to go around. Well, I probably shouldn't ask that because I had about 5 guys answer me, so I should know better than that after 35 years, you would think, right? All right, so let me see. The guy who's number 1, it's number 1. What kind of airplane is he? An RV type. All right, RV type. Keep it airborne for me. Keep it airborne. And I got a fast guy behind you. The number 2 guy over the trees there. Go ahead and put it down on the numbers. Put it down on the numbers. My first guy just coming up on the numbers at the over the grass at the numbers. I want you to keep it.
T-minus 1 minute and counting.
Hello.
Four, three, two, one.
Hello!
Hello!
everybody, and welcome to the special Storm Dara edition of the Flyer Livestream on this windy, rainy, and actually quite warm Flyer Livestream. Thursday night is what I was going to say. On Thursday night, there you go. So
it's pretty windy though.
Pretty
very windy.
Haircut, Ed.
I have had my hair cut.
Yeah, right. I need to. Is that?
That was last week. It was
last
like
then. Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? Right, what have we got coming up? Well, I should be saying that tonight we'll be talking to Eric Tucker, US display pilot, son of Sean D. Tucker, and he'll be telling us about his journey, how he got there. However, Eric Tucker, without the D, is not currently in the green room. We were in contact with him yesterday. I don't know whether he's inbound. I don't know whether he's waiting outside to be called in.
I'm sure. Yeah. I'm sure in true aerobatic display pilot style, he's just in the holding pattern, and when his time comes, he'll come blasting in with smoke.
You think so? You think so? Otherwise, we're going to be looking towards an interesting time a little bit later on, probably around. If there's still the four of us talking rubbish at 8 o'clock, then you'll probably know why. What else have we got? Well, in the news, we got some low prices. We got some high prices. We got news of Dolly Parton coming to Bryce Norton. And we got a mini quiz on the gamma numbers for the team, plus a picture of a very, very special aircraft departing from somewhere up North Canada, that is, right? Or as I believe Canada's now about to be called, the 51st American state. Bet that's going down well. Anyway, right, what is it? It's time to say Sky Demon. Thank you very, very much, Sky Demon, for sponsoring this. If you haven't tried Sky Demon, then why? I'm kind of amazed. Like, occasionally you get people posting on Facebook and stuff like that going, what do people think of Sky Demon or something? I go, what, have you not tried it?
Yeah.
I mean, you get a free 30-day trial anyway, as you do with the other apps. Other apps are available, but pretty much everyone uses Sky Demon. So go give it a go. I'm kind of extending that because we've got probably the shortest Sky Demon tip we've ever had, but this one's tiny but mighty. So here you go.
Hi, I'm Hannah from Sky Demon, and this is this week's top tip.
When you double tap a spot along your route, that point will be highlighted in the virtual radar at the bottom of the screen. You can also double tap in the virtual radar to see that point highlighted on the map.
For more information, go to our website, skydemon.aero.
There you go.
Well, what would you use it for?
Barely time to take a slurp of Diet Coke. You know, just double tap, and there you go. It's something I never do. I might have to try and, if I ever get to go flying again, which at the moment it just seems like it's been too long.
Yeah,
I'm going to try double tapping, as it were.
Okay.
But there you go. Right.
So I've got a feeling we'll be holding on to our hats this weekend. And as Simon isn't here live, I'd say don't get your hopes up too much for a flyable forecast. Shall we see what he's got in store for us?
Yes.
Have a look.
Evening, everyone. Sorry I can't be with you this evening, but hope that you're well this evening. Not looking the best of weekends, weather-wise, I have to be honest. Tomorrow is about the best of the bunch. Make the most, if you can, of this ridge of high pressure that builds in through Friday morning, particularly through central and eastern areas of the country. Here, cloud bases around 3,000–4,000 feet. A little bit of mist first thing, but that will be clearing away. However, quite quickly, the storm system in the west, this is Storm Dara, is going to be moving its way eastwards, deepening, bringing rain through Ireland, and then quickly into the west of the UK before sweeping eastwards. So if you can get in there early doors, that's what I'd be doing on Friday, because this is what happens on Saturday. The area of low pressure moving quickly into the North Sea. We have some very strong winds circulating around this area of low pressure, and we could be seeing gusts of 70 to 80 knots over coasts and hills, especially where exposed to the wind. Inland areas, gusts of 50 to 60 knots. If the aircraft are outside, this is your warning to get them well pinned down or inside a hangar. I really don't think there's going to be any flying going on Saturday, as the rain associated with Storm Dara also moves eastwards. Now, Sunday stays windy across England and Wales, gusting 30 to 40 knots. We've got some pretty frequent outbreaks of showery rain moving in from the North Sea. It all makes for non-VFR conditions, really. Bases of 1,000 to 2,000 feet, perhaps even lower than that. You can see here on the cloud ceiling forecast, bases of 5 500 feet across southern areas of the country, and still windy. So I think we are going to be non-VFR. The hope I can give you is if you're in the far southwest of Wales, perhaps the far west of Cornwall, you may get away with it there. Winds slightly lighter, cloud bases higher, better conditions. Better across Ireland, better for northern and western Scotland too. Mostly VFRable here, with the bases around 2,000 to 4,000 feet, tops at about 8,000 feet. And pretty fair conditions. But for the vast majority of us, it's a no-go, I'm afraid. Now, we've been spotting Storm Dara coming up for the last few days. And if you want to be able to do that as well, then you can join me at Aviation Weather School online. I've just announced the next course, which is going to be on the 7th and the 14th of January, on those Tuesday evenings between 6:30 p.m. and 9 p.m. I've just completed an Aviation Weather School Part 1 with a whole group of pilots, and we had a great time. So looking to repeat this on the 7th and the 14th of January. It makes a perfect Christmas gift. So if you want to book your place now, go to weatherschool.co.uk and it will be absolutely super to see you there. And if that weren't enough, you can visit the Weather School shop at weatherschool.co.uk. There you can get my pocket weather forecaster and my Weatherwise DVD. Again, they're perfect Christmas gifts. Okay, have a safe flying weekend. Remember, get your aircraft protected because you're going to need to this weekend. And I will see you next week. Bye for now.
Wow.
Yeah. And I've got to say, looking at the weather forecast, I mean, they're talking of like 60 knots gusts, like Simon said, inland, and some of it's like it's got a bit of a northerly component in it. And my hangar doors face north, and I'm thinking, what can I do to make those super secure?
I think they're probably okay, aren't they? If they're close.
They are. But I'm thinking I might come up with a way of just tying the pins. I've got a few pins that hold the doors, and it's like I think I want the pins to be nice and secure. So
I think tomorrow, I think I might do the same. My hangar doors aren't quite as northerly as yours, but
yeah, I'll certainly go and double check anyway. I think.
Yeah, let's have a hangar double check tomorrow. I think.
Yeah, because like Annabelle says, hopefully, no one wants inadvertent flying. Aeroplane logging time on its own, never good.
No, and just a heads up. Annabelle, as everyone knows, Annabelle's the person who books our guests and arranges it and everything else. So she's probably feeling a little bit stressed right now, and probably looking at and making herself look like Eric D. Tucker. Eric knows the middle name Tucker, and she'll be playing that role shortly. Hopefully.
Yes. Yeah, we can always bring Annabelle in. Actually, ask Annabelle anything.
Yeah. Do we know where he lives?
America.
Yeah, well, yeah. I only asked because BBC says that there's a big tsunami warning in California. So if he lives in California, we can let him off.
Oh wow,
a tsunami!
Wow, that's a bit serious.
Yeah.
Yikes!
So let me see if Google knows. Where does Eric Tucker live?
You're really asking that question?
Florida.
Yeah, there's a bloke called Eric Tucker who was born in Warrington, Lancashire in 1932.
I don't think it's him.
Really?
No, that's not the same show legend.
Anyway, should we do some news?
On with the news.
On with the news. Who have we got? Here's Dave first.
Right, this week we saw the latest newsletter from the Strategic Aerodrome Network. I'll come back to what they are in a few minutes, but the main feature was about Derby Airfield, with an article written by Martin Jones of Airspeed Aviation, which created the airfield, owns it and runs it. They've also got a full set of services for light aviation, including pilot training and maintenance. The big thing here, that this airfield did not come from a military background or even a civilian background. It was started in 1990 by the Jones family acquiring plots of low-grade agricultural land. There's no such thing anymore, of course. It's all very high grade and very expensive, and I won't go into any more about that, given it's political at the moment. Anyway, they had to get planning permission to create an airfield, and that went all the way up to government, including a 4-week, very expensive public inquiry. But amazingly, you can't hardly believe it these days, they got the planning permission to create it. In fact, Martin says, greenfield to airport. We think this is a very rare achievement because most airports have either got military or municipal origins. It's very true. Anyway, it's a booming little place. It's got 3 grass airfields, as you saw in the picture. There's a lot going on there. It's nicely located. I've never been, but it sounds a wonderful place, and we could do with more like it. In wider news from the Strategic Aerodrome Network, there are now 132 airfields or aerodromes signed up to the initiative. The idea behind it, if you remember, is to explain to local authorities and others why a network of GA aerodromes is a good thing and necessary, and it helps identify tools which airfields under threat can deploy. It's also got the ear of the General Aviation, the parliamentary group, name I can't remember right now.
APPGA.
That's the one, yeah.
All-party parliamentary group for German aviation.
Yep. So, and if you want to read the newsletter in full and read all about Derby Airfield in full, there's a link in the story on the Flyer website to download it. So, unfortunately, the Strategic Aerodrome Network does not have its own website at the moment. So they just use the newsletter.
Crazy. Am I right in thinking that Derby came into being because they built on Burnaston? There was Burnaston Airfield, and I think Nissan built a factory on it.
Wasn't it Toyota at Burnaston?
Oh yeah, maybe Toyota. Even.
Toyota, yeah.
But we lost. It's the one instance where we lose an airfield, and we're always saying, you lose an airfield, you never get it back.
Yeah.
It's one of the super rare times where you lose an airfield, and actually, through some real motivated people, we got another airfield in return.
Well, Martin Jones is very motivated because he's building a very special, or he's restoring a very special aircraft. It's called Black Magic, and it's one of the original de Havilland Comet racers. He's been doing it for a long time.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, I'm right. Yeah, so lots of people. Colin Wilkinson, Toyota, and Car Factory, Nissan built on Sunderland. There we go.
There you go.
Great. Me.
When was that? Sorry, before you go, did you say it was 1990, Dave, or was it before that?
No, 1990 is what Martin wrote in his story. So he was the guy who did it. So I guess he knows.
Yeah. And just slightly left at the lights, we were talking about this tsunami warning. I just went and looked at the news. Yeah, we may not have Eric tonight based on what looks like a quite serious thing in the news. So yeah, that's not good.
No.
Conspiracy they'll come up with on X.
Sorry?
I wonder what conspiracy they'll come up with on X to explain the tsunami of California.
Yeah. So, do you know of any cheaper fixed wing Group A flying in the UK that's less than £140 an hour? Now we don't, and we've been following some news that Sherburn Aero Club have got a package offering low rate hour building to pilots working towards the CPL or ATPL. A 10-hour package flying a Cessna 152 works out at £140 an hour. Which is down from an already competitive £168 an hour. Though we were all talking about this earlier, and when we all learned to fly, I remember some flying rates that were under £100. So,
but I learned to fly at the Shrums.
Wow, yeah. The club said that they recognise that hour building is crucial for pilots working towards their CPL. But that got us wondering, is that the cheapest aircraft hire in the UK? If you know of any other good deals, let us know, because low-cost flying is worth promoting.
Yeah,
absolutely. It's one of those things that just makes you feel how old it is when everyone's talking about a Cessna 150 at 140 quid an hour as being great value, and you just go, what? That can't be true, can it? But it is. The price. Oh, I don't know. Price we pay.
Annabelle, who we all thought was very young, apparently £60 an hour when she learned. Paul Fraser Benison, £7 10 shilling in 1972.
I think I paid £2,799, or maybe it was 2,700 or something like that for 40 hours at Archer Flight Training in Gloucester. So that's 70 quid an hour.
Because I was a young school-going child, I remember vividly that my PPR was £2,995, which I saved for with birthdays and Christmases and jobs and all sorts. So,
mine cost me a BMW R100 RT.
Ooh.
I had to sell my motorbike in order to pay for it.
Yeah, but what an investment, Dave.
It
Yeah.
was,
Absolutely. Absolutely. Good. I think you're still on, Ed.
I am still on. There's the Gloucester news. So possibly not ticking the good deal box at Gloucester, some home-based flying schools and operators are coming to terms with what looks like a 62% increase in the cost of landings. Gloucester has just published their table of fees for 2025, and the landing fee hike is just one of many increases. I can tell you that if you want your toilet emptied, £100 now, used to be £84. Not many people, I'm sure that will affect. And if you were one of those pilots that enjoyed discounted rates for permit aircraft or historic pre-1958 types, then those have vanished as well. Those discounts have gone as well. So,
if I have to say, if I had an airplane with a toilet in it that had been used,
I'd be very miffed.
I would get someone said, you can empty it for £100. I go, take it. Just here's the money. Let me more. Oh,
Paul Fraser Benison noticed something that we picked up on a while back, is that list of strategic airfields didn't include Gloucester or Farnborough. Was
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Well, the SAN list required airfields to go, we are important. So
They had to identify themselves as strategic in some way. So it was kind of up to the airfields to do it. Yeah.
You'd think being next to the National Cyber Security Centre and GCHQ.
You'd think, wouldn't you?
Good for spying.
Yeah. Anyway, moving on. First flight on December the 3rd. It's me, yeah. First flight, December the 3rd in the morning. Aura Aero had the first flight of their I need to be careful when I say this. Integral E, not Integrale, which was a Lancia car, which was an absolutely spectacular car. Just
it was.
If you can get yourself a Lancia Delta Integrale in good nick, then you're doing well. That's a budget.
I was a motoring journalist at the time as a Lancia Integrale, and it had a nickname amongst journos, which was Hello Sheep, because it had massive understeer. So if you were going to have an accident, you would go off with the front taking off the field.
Well, I had at the time my company car. I wasn't working for myself. So excuse this little foray. Well, Eric D was having a tsunami. I had something called it was a horrible name. It was called a Lancia Dedra. I think they probably only sold about 2 of them. A Lancia Dedra Turbo. Anyway, the deal I did with the garage, I said, okay, I'll buy this Lancia Dedra Turbo as my company car. Only on the condition that when I bring it in for its first service, which being a Lancia Dedra Turbo was, I think, 50 miles or something. The car that you need to lend me for the day is your Integrale demonstrator. And they went, yeah, all right. And so, I know. And there was one particular bend that I went around and thought, that was quite good. And I just kept going backwards and going faster and faster. The road was clear. No one came to any harm. And it just got to the point where I lost all confidence and I wasn't going to go any faster because I realized that if it did go wrong at that speed, it was going to probably get every corner of the thing. So anyway, moving on. This airplane's called a Integral E for electric. It's the electric version of the Integral, which has a tail dragger and a nose gear. Right, it definitely doesn't look like that. Looks like that. Yep. And that was its first flight. It will have an hour's endurance when it's launched, and it's got a supercharge to recharge the battery in 30 minutes. Expected to go into service with flight schools in 2026. The avgas fueled one will be 2025, hopefully. They kind of said they said it's a world premiere. I'm not entirely sure. World premiere for a new category of aircraft. We couldn't really figure out what category they were talking about, to be perfectly honest.
It's got to be electric aerobatic trainer, hasn't it? Because it can't be 2 seats, because that would be Pipistrel Velis Electro.
Yeah.
So
that's true.
I'm guessing it's got to be electric aerobatic trainer. That's got to be the new niche.
Well, because Diamond are flying DA40 electric trainer. So it's got to be the aerobatic 2-seat electric aerobatic trainer. You're right. Let's
feature in that. And to some degree, you go, actually, aerobatics, the whole UPRT or aerobatic sortie, training sortie for an electric aeroplane probably makes quite a lot of sense, because I don't know about you, but I don't like to do more than about well, when I used to like aerobatics, no more than 30 or 40 minutes.
Oh,
I was going to say normally no more than about 10 for me at the beginning.
Yeah.
To be honest with you,
Is it actually aerobatic though? Because it must be quite a weight of batteries in there.
I've just been presuming that it is.
Yeah.
Because the Integral is an aerobatic trainer. So
yeah, good question. They made a claim that as many of the electric people make a claim that the cost of this to operate will be halved from the normal thing. So half the price to operate one of these. I'm gonna stick my neck out here. Mainly because no one's going to remember what I said tonight in a couple of years' time anyway. But if it does go into commercial service somewhere, there is no way in a million years that that's going to be half the cost of anything else. You'll still be able to get Cap 10Bs and probably Integral, not E's for the same cost. I mean, the Pipistrel is out there running sort of trial flights and bits and pieces like that. I don't know if Claire's in the comments. She had some experience with those, but those trial flights weren't going at a half price for sure. They were. So either the schools are making tons of profit, and everyone knows that that's not the case in aviation. So
Martin Loosby's got the word though for us. It's the aerobatic. Very good.
Oh, very good.
I like it. Oh, Catkin, electrobatic. And she says, "Where's the tail wheel?" This is the nose wheel version.
Yeah. Ed, there's a surprise story for you that I've put in here.
Oh, brilliant. I love surprise stories.
I'm going to put up the picture.
Okay.
And you can come up with some words.
Oh, wow. Oh, so this is exciting. A few weeks ago, you will have seen the delivery flight of the Martin Mars, which was there was a fire bomber painted red and white. The first one, there were two of these left, the Hawaii Mars and the Philippine Mars. And Hawaii Mars was delivered to British Columbia in formation with the Snowbirds. You probably watched the video because that was all over the internet. So that was an aeroplane that was in pretty good flying condition. This one has not flown, I think, in something like 15 plus years.
20 years.
Sorry?
20, I think.
20, okay. But it's taken a little bit longer to get flying, but it has flown today, we hear, and someone kindly let us use their photo of the aeroplane.
Smith, thank you very much, Roland.
Yeah, fantastic. And this is going to be delivered to the Pima Air and Space Museum, which is in the desert. And you're wondering, how is this going to get there? Which is amazing, but there is a plan. I think the aeroplane will be going to, I think they're going to visit San Francisco first. And then it'll be flown to somewhere near Pima, and I'm guessing someone will find a lake, and then they'll get it. But it's going into the Air and Space Museum there. So
could come in quite handy if they got a tsunami.
Yeah.
Let's hope it's not serious. Otherwise, no,
I really hope it's not serious.
That sounds like a terrible comment, won't it?
Catkin says it looks like Catalina had a romance with a tiger cat.
Yeah, but if you put a Catalina up against this thing, even that would look tiny. So this is a big aeroplane, absolutely big aeroplane. So
freaking huge, isn't it?
Yeah.
Freaking huge. Johnny.
Yeah, a quick one from Bryce, which we found out about through an email from Gloucester. They've notified about some changes to their Lars service. So, first of all, from the 21st of December until the 5th of January, the Lars will be closed, which doesn't impact the airspace really at all because that's all managed through Bryce Zone. So don't go wandering through there. And secondly, once they're back on the 6th of February, they're going to operate.
6th of January.
6th of January, sorry. They will be operating from 9 to 5 in homage to Dolly Parton.
What a way to make a living, eh?
I was really impressed that you came up with a film reference because the 9 to 5 thing was Ian. So very impressive.
I was looking for a PNG of Dolly Parton to stick over it, but I kind of ran out of time. I figured that was just going to be too frivolous for people. They might not appreciate it, but there you go. Right. It must be time.
Wow, it's Gamma.
The Gamma story.
This is great. We love Gamma numbers time because it's all about higher or lower, isn't it?
Well, we've changed it a little bit this year, but it's still a bit higher or lower. So
didn't we have a video for this? We used to have play your cards right, didn't we?
I think. I think.
Yeah, it's long gone.
The only one we've got is the celebrity interview, the celebrity intro one.
Yeah, that's no good.
That was rubbish. We got the one called Ed Ginola, which is you when you had long hair.
Yeah, no one needs that anymore.
And at the moment, Eric's still not here, so we've got this one as well.
Don't panic! Don't panic! Don't panic!
Right.
Hit us with your gamma numbers quiz.
Okay, gamma numbers quiz. So these are the Q3 numbers for gamma. The year-end ones come next year, so I think in February or something. But anyway, right. So in Q3 of 2023, Icon had shipped a total of 6 aircraft. How many was it, higher or lower for 2024? This is the Icon A5.
I'm going lower.
Seaplane. You're going lower?
I'm going higher.
You're going higher? Ed, yours decider?
Yeah, lower.
Lower. Lower's right. Last year it was 6. This year it's 1.
Wow.
1. Yeah, absolutely.
I'm guessing that's got something to do with the fact that they were in and out of Chapter 11. So
yeah, it hasn't been a vintage year for them, has it?
No.
Moving on to another company that you would have heard of called Textron. And
never heard of them.
They make golf buggies, don't they?
Lawnmowers, one of the best aircraft in the world, the Skylane.
Yes.
I don't know if you're going to agree with me or just run shy of this, but we know that in our dealings with Textron over the years, they've proven themselves to be pretty much incompetent. But clearly, they can build airplanes. They're not incompetent at building airplanes. They're just incompetent at organising anything whatsoever. A bunch of muppets. But anyway, the Skylane in 2023, they delivered 7 of one of the world's best general aviation aircraft. What did they do this year? Higher or lower?
I'm going to go lower again.
I'm going to go higher.
Go higher this time. Well, I think it went higher last time.
Okay, the highers have it. They delivered 13, nearly twice as many. So,
was that because they were offering the new turbo Skylane, weren't they? So,
no, that wasn't the turbo Skylane. That was the plain Jane Skylane, not even the turbocharged one. Yeah, so that was pretty impressive. Maybe they just couldn't figure out how to count the year before. I don't know. Who knows?
Some went out. No one noticed.
Well, it's still using the high compression engine in the modern ones.
No, it's the IO 540 in the modern one. So with the IO 540, you can run that on unleaded, but the 0470U, which is in some of the older ones with the Continental engine, they were trying to make them quieter, so they reduced the max RPM down to 2,400 from 2,700. But in order to get the power, they upped the compression, so you had a high compression, the U version of the 0470, and that's the one that can't run on unleaded fuel.
Is that what you got in your aeroplane?
Might be why I know a little bit about it. Talking of which, let's take a turn left at the lights here for a little bit. We were talking yesterday on the Skype stream. If you're not a member, join, and you too can join the Skype stream and Skype off work completely legally on a Wednesday afternoon. No problems with that whatsoever. Trust us. Yeah, so David Eads, who was in the comments, he's got a O360 on order, and it looks like that's going to take best part of a year and a half to arrive. And now it looks like Lycoming are talking about up to 2 years delay on a brand new engine, which is just completely mad. We're hoping to get hold of someone there, chat to them and chat to Continental and see what's going on. I'm sure they're not doing it on purpose. Clearly, they'd much rather be.
If you're a flying club and you need a new engine,
I'm imagining that we need to talk to Dean at Nicholson McLaren or a few other engine overhaulers as well, because there's going to be a whole bunch of people who see how long it is to get something from the factory and go, we're going to can we refurb these cylinders and use them again, please?
Yeah.
If you're a flying score, or even if you're not a flying score, imagine I needed a new engine. It was going to take a year or 2 years to get one. Having an airplane sitting there for a year or 2 years doing nothing just gathering dust and leaves and all sorts of stuff, it's just going to wreck it, isn't it? It's just not a happy situation. I'm guessing that the OEM customers must be getting priority on there, so otherwise they'd be pulling their hair out. Right, back to the quiz. Technam, fast answers on this one, please. Technam P2008 in Q3 of 2023. 12 were delivered. How about in 24?
Higher.
20.
All the schools are buying them in Europe.
Double, 24.
Double, 24. Spot on. Well done. Waco, Taco, whatever you say. This is to date for the whole of 2023 up to the end of Q3. They delivered 6 of their YMF thingy.
Yeah.
How many do you reckon for 2024?
Lower.
Yeah.
Lower. Only 3, and worryingly, they were all in the first quarter. So second and third quarter for Waco was not so sparkling. Talking of not so sparkling, giving the answer away, haven't I? I might have to skip that one. Okay. Oh man, I'm rubbish at this. American Champion. What do you reckon they did in 2024?
One.
Well, they've got lots of aeroplanes, haven't they? They've got decathlon, super decathlon.
Decathlons, yeah.
So I
4.
Well, the answer is we don't know because they're no longer part of the Gamma numbers.
They dropped out of the Gamma membership.
I don't know whether I don't know enough about it to know whether you can withdraw from, whether you can stay a member and just not declare numbers or what. But last year they declared a total score throughout the whole of 2023 of 0. 0 sales and deliveries. So I'm guessing that would probably be similar, which is why they didn't bother this time. Equally worrying, because the Waco people are still owned by the Junkers people as well, isn't it?
Yeah,
I think they're currently on like 0 or 1 delivery.
I'm guessing obviously Junkers came to pass because they started building the fabulous airliner replica. Was it the Junkers F-30?
Yeah.
Which was Dieter Morschek's kind of fantasy project, and they had said, "Hey, if you want others, if you want some, you can buy one." I think it was the same money as a Piper Piper M300, M350, and I think they built one, but it would appear that there was not much market for your own Junkers.
Right. Well, for those who don't know, Dieter made his money. Well, I don't know exactly where he made his money, but he was Rimowa Suitcases, wasn't he?
Yeah,
he's no longer Rimowa Suitcases, so
he sold to the Japanese, I think, and like all good aviation fortunes, invested his large fortune in an aviation company. So, but obviously, Junkers have been success. They have found success with their microlight, the 600 kg microlight.
So, when you say they have found success with it,
well, they sold all their. I think there was. The launch edition for the Junkers microlight was completely sold out, wasn't it? And they're now doing the radial powered version, the Heritage. So
well, it wasn't reported on Gamma, but maybe that's because it was the ultralight version. I don't know. Right, two more questions, and then we can tread some water for a bit.
Okay.
I just need a stab at a number here because the numbers for 2023 and 2024 are roughly the same. How many SF-50 jets do you think Cirrus sold in the first 3 quarters of the last 2 years?
32.
How many?
32.
I was going to say 30.
Yeah, I'll go 25.
61 and 62.
Wow.
I remember Aero. They said they were the order book was about 2 years.
That's pretty impressive, churning those jets out.
Good.
So they're kind of on track for doing probably just under 100. They might crack just over 100 this year. So that's 2 a week, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
So not bad at all. Right, last question. Total piston aircraft sales for last year. Q3 1136. What do you reckon this year? Higher or lower?
Higher.
Slightly higher.
Lower.
Okay. Ed and Dave are right. It's higher at 1221. So there you go. Not a huge amount higher, but a bit higher. And there ends the Gamma quiz. You'll have to wait till next year for another one.
I just want to catch up on the comments because there's been some good ones. Erotique says it would cost only £3,375 plus VAT to land the Mars at Gloucester. Would you do that? Because obviously Gloucester opened, was it this year that they opened their seaplane landing base when they had that big puddle next to runway 22?
They did indeed.
They were obviously planning for it. And also, obviously, we were talking about play your cards right, higher or lower. Dan Smith reminded us of the I'm the joke of the pack, which makes me lucky chap. Here they are. Dealing, come on, flyer, do your dealing. To which Darren Erotique's not exactly dolly dealers, are they, Dan? But Dan Smith says, Erotiques, I don't know, Johnny might be attractive after many beers.
Many beers.
You need a whole brewery.
Yes.
Yeah.
And on the cost of Lycomings and shipping times, John Briggs says he's ordered an M1B. That's from Vans. It's 27 months. David Eade says Nicholas McLaren wanted more to refurbish than buying a new one from Lycoming. So wow. John Briggs said 45k, which is the discounted price because Vans, if you're a Vans builder, you get cheaper engines. So
wow, that is that.
So I've got to say, I'm pretty sure we're not going to see Eric because looking at the news, they've got a magnitude 7 earthquakes struck just off the coast of Northern California, and their tsunami warning happens. They're talking of severe, wave issues in 4 minutes' time. So, we were looking forward to seeing Eric, but obviously our thoughts are with him and everyone else in California. So,
yes, someone should. Oh, that's
George, there we go. Wow, Ed, give us an update on the Cub.
Give us an update on the Cub, Ed. I thought actually.
So it's funny. We've often joked about what we would do. Should a guest not turn up? And we were talking about that tonight. And we went, we would do a Reddit style Ask Us Anything. So maybe I'll quite happy to start off on the Cub. So ask your questions to the live stream team.
Maybe
Annabelle too. Maybe we can roll Annabelle in. So ask us anything. As for the Cub. The wings went on, which you might have known about if you were watching the live stream extra a few weeks ago, because I think we managed to put the wings on that probably 3-4 weeks ago. I've been progress has been slower than it has been during the summer. Obviously, shorter days. It's been bloody cold in the hangar, and I've had a bit on here and there elsewhere in life. So. But the wings are on, the tanks are all plumbed in, and all the electrics are done now, and the panel works, and the firewall forward is nearly done, and the cowlings are nearly done, and the baffles are nearly done. So the aeroplane is nearly done. And I'm kind of hoping that this weekend we might finish rigging the controls and put it on the scales. So you'll know, obviously, I've been trying to reduce the weight. So far the spreadsheet, which is my official things coming out getting weighed and things going in being weighed, shows a net saving of £65.
Do you name your aircraft, Ed?
Have I named my aeroplane?
Do you name your aircraft? I know you have so many. Do they have names?
No, I can't say I've given it a name. Not the moment.
You could call it Munjaro or whatever it is.
What, Munjaro? Oh, weight loss. Yeah.
Ozempic.
Yeah.
I'll tell you one of the things that's impressed me about the Cub, apart from the fact most of it's impressed me actually, to be honest. But I reckon we need to do a little video of this. We need to do a video of those VVOR wheel jack things you've got. It's just a great little kind of things that get around the wheels. You pump them up, and they lift the wheels up, and then they got casters on, and you can ground loop it to your.
It's definitely they've definitely been a key to making it fit in the hangar.
Have you started the engine yet?
No. There's still some things to sort, but we are getting close on that. So yeah, that is coming. I'm just if I seem distracted, it's because I'm looking for a photo so that I can, because I don't think the regular audience haven't seen this. And oh, there we go. I have got something. Here we go. Might not be the right format, but here we are. This is loading. Documents yourself. Play lift music. Ding. There we go. Bing. Oh no,
look like this.
that's not it. There
That's
we go.
not your cup.
No, that's not my cub. That's a cub. Yeah. So that is cub at the moment. So we are getting there. But like Ian says, I've got these wheel skates because cub is 36-foot span and hangar is 33-foot span. So it only goes in on a diagonal. So
I need to get myself some of those roof lights. I know you said that they're a bit frowned upon by the hangar owner.
They do make a difference.
Make a huge difference. Mine's a bit like a cave at the moment. But
yeah.
cool.
So,
that is very cool.
Yeah. So making progress. Tom Watson. No, straight away it's like, let's get some suggestions for a name for Ed's cub. And straight away I'm going, oh no, this is how it ended up being called Cubby McCubface, isn't it?
Yeah. Hang on a second. What's going? There's a whole conversation going on here.
What's that?
There's Doncaster news.
So Doncaster, get another new name to add to its list.
I don't know.
Here we go.
I'll click on it. Some Yorkshire news. Doncaster Airport has had all of its grass cut, and white X's on the runway have been removed.
Yoo-hoo!
Wow! Apparently, I hear that 2XL are bringing an aircraft back this week. That's great.
Cat Burnham, has Catherine Burnham said to 2XL recognised they were operating aircraft up to King Air out of there from now on.
Wow.
That's a good thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Atkin says, I wonder if Doncaster will get yet another new name to add to its list. Well, Doncaster revived would be great.
Yeah.
There's a comment from Annabelle there, which we should put up.
I'll click on it. There we go. Eric has emailed to say thank you for my message of please stay safe, and he'll join us soon.
Oh right, okay, cool.
When he says soon, he doesn't mean tonight, though, does he? Presumably at this point in time. And it's quite nice in New York or something.
We have got is Kia Williams. I know it's probably not the worst name it could have. We did have a couple of videos lined up to show you because obviously Eric's son of Sean D. Tucker, but he's got his own unique airshow act and features in a film called 26,000 Days, which is fabulous. We will give you the link to that because that's worth watching. But there's a brilliant sequence in it that's shot with drones and the sound, just the sound recording stuff and the video all together. I think this is worth playing. This is just over a minute of cub gliding zen.
I definitely don't want to die doing what I love. But I want to live doing what I love.
good? You like it?
That's just fabulous. Slightly worrying is the noise that a Cub makes when you can hear the airframe with no engine.
So Ed, when you get yours working,
yeah,
I've got a little drone. I need to practice flying it a bit. But
yeah, I'm sure we could do that. How many collisions? How long before we collide? CIA, we're definitely not doing this. Martin Loosby says, will we see the Ed version soon? Not of that. No, if only I had that sort of skill. Right. Steve Baker, what height did that start? I think it was 2,000 feet. So, yeah. How did he stop the prop windmilling? In the clip, in the bit of the video you see before that, he shuts it down and kind of lifts the nose up before starting that routine. So I think that does stop it. So, but it's just stunning. If you want to watch, watch the video. It's it's a short film. It's called 26,000 Days, and it's called 26,000 Days because that's the average lifespan. And the film's made around Eric's kind of view that you need to live life for every day. I put a link in the comments. Treat yourself. Go and watch this because it's magic. It's we're all pilots. We all love flying, and there's some flying scenes in that you will just like watching that bit of video. Then it's just stunning to watch. So
do you remember that film that came out years ago called
26 Left?
26 Right?
Yeah. This is 26,000 Days is a film that makes you think of 26 Right. I was thinking of that today.
16 Right.
Sorry?
16 Right.
16 Right. That's it. Yeah. Too many twos.
Yeah, I mean, I think when 16 Right was made, they didn't really have drones and stuff.
No, and that was all shot with kind of cameras on helicopters and stuff, wasn't it? Yeah. There are video makers now. There's drone operators who, and particularly on Instagram, if you go looking, there's some guys in Europe, some guys in America, who are just out of this world. Astonishing flying skills, and the speeds of some of this stuff now. Just make for some tremendous filming opportunities. So, yeah, Martin Loosby says 26,000 days is 71 years. Apparently, that is the average lifespan. As a few people on Skywstream yesterday were saying, "Hey, I've got past that, so I'm doing okay." So,
okay, and that is proof, if proof were needed, that you could live longer by joining the Flyer Club.
Yeah, John Milner says, yeah, reminds me of Bob Hoover. Well, I'm sure if you come up with that comment when Eric finally makes it on, because I'm sure he'd be very delighted to read something like that.
Talking of which, sorry to interrupt before we get ahead, but we've kind of missed something out here. Kind of like
what's that?
We unless it happened and I slept through it, I don't know. Was Johnny giving the landing fees out plus the web plus everything else? Take it away, Johnny.
Yeah, so where's the there we go. So if you're a Fly Club member, thank you.
Yeah.
If not, join us, £5 a month or £52 for the year at fly.co.uk/membership. Free landing vouchers for this month are Audley End, which I've been meaning to go to, Solent, Tibenham, Yatesbury, and 50% off at Sandown. And we had a webinar from Mark Greenfield a couple of days ago, Greeners, which was really well received, all about forced landings. So go and watch that. We've now got 2 whole years worth of webinars.
Yeah,
that you can go back and watch through. So another great benefit. None of that information gets old.
No. And the Greeners webinar on forced landings was really good.
Really excellent. Yeah.
It was pretty good. And while we're here asking you to join up and pay money and stuff, there's some stuff you can do to help us that will cost you nothing, not a single penny. If you haven't done it already, do us a favor and like the video. And if you haven't done it already, do us a favor and subscribe to the channel on YouTube, because that really helps us as well. So, and that costs you nothing. So do us a favor, go on, subscribe. It just takes little seconds. Click. And that'll be fine. Thank you very much.
Annabelle's got a reminder. Please read the voucher for Solent Property. There's a code you need to use, and online PPR. So.
Yeah, because if you turn up and you just said, "Oh, Annabelle said it'd be fine,"
Annabelle won't be happy. No one wants to make Annabelle unhappy.
No. On that basis, should we rush into before we run out of time? Unbelievably,
Yeah, as if we managed to do this every week, but we're bang on time for.
We can talk. We can talk anytime.
Yeah. So had Eric been on, and the great news is, I'm sure we'll get Eric back another time. We thought tonight we would pick piston-powered display aircraft from the past, inspired by our guest, for our fancy hangars. So who's first?
You are, Ed.
Oh, me. But then we need to show this, and we need to show nothing else, because I picked this wonderful Ryan STA, flown by 1930s airshow legend Tex Rankin. Now, Tex was an aerobatic pilot, barnstormer, air racer, and flight instructor from the 20s to the 40s. He created Rankin Flying Service, which trained thousands of pilots at Rankin Field for the US Army Air Force in World War II. But he was also the 1935 US Aerobatic Champion and 1938 World Aerobatic Champion. Tex famously loved aerobatics and said, above all, a pilot with a working knowledge of aerobatics gains that most important of all things, confidence. Quite madly, he loved outside loops and set multiple records in 1931, initially at 19 consecutive loops. Then he went, oh no, someone might break that. So then did 78 consecutive loops in 88 minutes. Before setting a third and final record that year, still stands to this day, unsurprisingly, 131 consecutive outside loops, at which point he must have had very red eyeballs. So now the looping was something he did with the Great Lakes biplane, but it's the sleek Ryan STA that I'm in love with, A for aerobatic. It's powered by a 125 horsepower Manasco C4 engine, and the Ryan was Tex's mount through what was heralded as the peak of his career in 1937. Sadly, Tex died in an accident in 1947. Nothing as dramatic as anything more than, unfortunately, collided with some wires flying a CB. Aviation legend Jimmy Doolittle said of him, Tex was one of the most skillful acrobatic pilots who ever lived. Perhaps the best way to describe his rapport with an aeroplane was to say he wore it rather than he flew it. Amazingly, Tex's STA lives on to this day, owned by an aircraft collector called Walt Bowe, who says it's his favourite aeroplanes of all the ones he owns, and he has got he's like second only to Kermit Weeks for an amazing collection of stuff. But look at that beauty, that is just gorgeous.
Do you were talking about wearing it, and I realised I shouldn't take the mickey out of this chap at all, but does it? It looks like he's got a first officer that he's nicked from the Navy somewhere.
I don't think that's him. I found a photo of his aeroplane, but I think that's some cheeky interloper who is controversial. Tom Watson. I thought the record for outside loops was held by a lady in a hyperbipe. Ooh.
Well, while Johnny's telling us, you can Google that, Ed.
Okay, as Wikipedia says, citation required.
Johnny.
Right, I've gone for a take on the Boeing Stearman, which obviously isn't the world's most exciting airshow performer in its normal format, but this one, which sits in the EAA Museum at a place called Oshkosh, is probably the biggest and best ever Super Stearman.
650 horsepower.
Yeah, so this is from a guy called Joe Hughes, and he wanted something that was bigger and better than the standard 450 Super Stearman. That's actually an 850 horsepower engine, which they dialed back to 650. So it's a Pratt & Whitney R1340 AN1, which on the EA website it was tested to 850 horsepower.
Wow.
And they dialed it back. It's got Mach cruise speed of 150 to 190 miles per hour and a max speed of 330.
Oh, I bet that
330.
I bet
it hasn't got a max speed of 330. Don't be ridiculous.
In a dive, I bet the wires.
He says.
They're probably talking in kilometers or something. It's never. I mean, isn't the Stearman famously one of those aircraft that has no V&E because you can just point it straight down and it won't outrun the drag? And I can't believe No.
Yeah, and the only airframe modification apparently was adding one more set of flying wires between the wings.
Well, I would want those. At 330 leptons, I would want that.
Yeah.
What's the normal Stearman? 225 horsepower. So that's a lot. That's like nearly 3 times the horsepower.
Yeah. Well, me next, and I've kind of taken a bit of a sideways glance at this because I reckon all this display flying is not so, for the people who come to watch displays. Most people don't come to see a specific aircraft. Most people don't go, oh, that's a mid-wing extra instead of a low-wing extra or something. Most people come for the entertainment, the story, the sight, the sounds, the kind of the emotional engagement that you can get. Most people love turbulence chasing toilet rolls and stuff like that. So I went for something that's pretty damn classic. So take a quick look at this. You've probably all seen it before, but here you go. I mean, you don't want to drop the span, do you? But I mean, so that was a lady called Gladys Ingalls. She was only the 4th woman in the US to get a pilot's license, by the way, and she was part of a group called the 13 Cats, a Los Angeles-based group who kind of formed in 1924. The original plan was, if you wanted to join them, you had to spell. Your name had to be spelled with 13 letters, hence the 13 Cats. Now, if you can work this out quickly, Gladys Ingalls' name does not run to 13 letters. So, and in fact, most of the people's didn't. So they had to come up with bonkers nicknames. But they were kind of going around and they would put on a show and they say, like, if you give us $100, which back then was worth more than $100 is now, we'll fly upside down, as it were. And they do a bunch of other stuff. But they're kind of their party piece, which I guess didn't happen too often because you had to pay $1,500, which was about $25,000 in today's money, according to the internet. They would fly along in their airplanes, and then they get one of the airplanes, whoever was flying that particular one would jump out and pull their parachute, and they'd explode it in midair. They just blow it up.
Airshow routines just aren't what they were.
Mad. And I mean, Gladys herself, she made money. She made a ton of money. She made a living from jumping out of balloons and all sorts of things at air shows and stuff. I mean, and I find it fascinating. She only died in 1981, which I agree, 1981 is a long time ago now, but to people like me of our age, it doesn't seem that long ago. It's so frustrating. I could have gone and chat. Can you imagine chatting to some old lady and you'd go, so what did you do? I climbed into an aircraft. And she did she did a freestanding on top of a wing walking freestanding loop. I mean, like, mad. You must be completely bonkers.
Yeah.
And then she was probably going down the shops and everyone's going, are you all right, dear? I like to think of Gladys as someone who would have some trouble with her middle finger at times. Yes. But anyway, there you go. That's my entrance. It's the 13 Cat.
That's quite impressive. And yeah, Curtis Jenny is the aeroplane in that. So
yeah, I think in that particular one, I think the 13 Cats kind of grabbed whatever they can. It was run by a guy called Ronald Bon McDay, I think his name was, and right. he owned half an airfield somewhere in California, which is probably wasn't a bad thing. Anyway, they only lasted 5 years, not because they had accidents or anything, although they probably did.
They ran out of aeroplanes.
They didn't run out of airplanes, but there were some young whippersnappers who were undercutting them on the cost.
Always the way.
Always the way. Absolutely.
So that just leaves Dave. Dave, what did you go for?
Well, I've also gone for something which likes a bit of a game. So if you, it is the Curtis Jenny, the same as in Ian's picture. These people playing, it may even be the cats playing this, but they're playing tennis on top of a wing, which I think is a splendid idea. So my choice is the Curtiss Jenny JN4, which the Curtiss Jenny was a series of biplanes built by the Glenn Curtiss Aeroplane Company. This is back when the Americans knew how to spell aeroplane and not airplane. It actually dates back to 1915, the first one of the series, but was in production until 1927. Nearly 7,000 of them built. It's originally a training aircraft for the US Army in World War I, but sold at bargain prices afterwards to private owners and became key to the 1920s barnstorming era, as you just heard from Ian. They're robust. They can be modified to take skis. They can be used to carry cargo, including patients on stretchers. And this is when America was mostly still agricultural. It didn't become a really industrial nation until World War II, when it had to gear up. But it's a crazy displays like this, so just playing tennis on the top wing, that Jenny is best remembered. Literally the mother of invention.
So what's amazing about the Jenny is that it was empty weight, 630 kilos. Horsepower, that big V8 on it, was only 90 horsepower.
Wow.
So while you're looking through the comments, Ed, I need to eat my hat a little bit, as it were, here. Or eat my...
Well, I need to eat my hat too, because Tom Watson, obviously, he was very quick to point out that I've lost him now. Where are we? Tom, come in. No. Oh, no. Anyway, Tom obviously said, I thought the record for outside loops was held by a lady in a hyperbike. And that is true. So in 1989, poor old Tex's record was beaten by Joanne Osterud from Canada. And she flew 208 outside loops in a hyperbike in North Bend in Oregon.
You got to be completely mad. Well, my particular part of hat eating is actually to do with the prices I was talking about for electric aircraft. I got a picture through of a website here, Maury Flying Club. Basically, if you want to fly the Pipistrel Virus, they're rubbish at naming aircraft, aren't they? The 121 with the Rotax in it, that'll cost you £170 an hour to train, £140 an hour to hire. However, if you want to go and fly the Vedsy Electro with them, the training will only cost you £100 an hour and the hire £80. So
right.
It's yeah. Well, there you go. I was wrong. It's true. Mark, put the day in the calendar. There you go. So have I won it?
You didn't win. It would appear that strong start from Ed. Johnny wins. Ian's off again. What have we got? Ian wins. Ed wins. Johnny wins. Jenny wins.
Confusing.
Ed wins. Yep. Ed has been out nerded. The planet's axis has shifted. Ian and Dave win. Ed wins. That rhyme was lovely. Ian and Dave. Ed once more. Aviator Steve says, off to the pub.
Good idea.
Yeah, it is a good idea. Well,
and Quinty Q2 says, disappointed no Art Scholl with Super Chipmunk. I must admit, I was tempted. Or Bob Hoover and the Shrike Commander. When we were talking about this, we all talked about the Shrike Commander and then probably forgot to go and, because that is Bob Hoover perhaps one of the ultimate air display pilots in a piston engine aeroplane? Maybe.
I think I had a few that I really wanted to go for some weird French aircraft. It was like, but they were all kind of jet powered, and they would have been, there's
no jets this time.
So. You know the Yak 110.
Yeah, well, it's two radials in a jet.
Two radials in a jet, but they had the French had some kind of it was a bit like two Fouga Magisters like that.
They did, yeah.
They weren't Fouga Magisters, but they kind of looked very similar to that. But yeah, they had
I'm trying to remember what they were, but yeah, no, that was So some mad times. Anyway, Dave,
we've passed our time limit. I can't believe that, Dave. Quick,
So this weekend, on Saturday the 7th, not sure these are going to go ahead, so because of the weather. Anyway, Contenabus is possibly going to have a Christmas fly-in. Not sure that's going to happen. Sherborne is having a Christmas market, which you can drive into. The Helicopter Museum it's Western-super-Mare, isn't it? The Helicopter Museum is having a Christmas fun day. There's a lot of Christmas stuff going on. Saturday and Sunday, 7th and 8th of December, Shuttleworth are having their Christmas market. Just a little note, we're starting to get some information about New Year's Day fly-ins. So if you hear of any, let us know via the forum or any of our social media.
Cool. Thank you.
Annabelle says, look, at times just about Eric didn't make it. I just checking on the news. It looks like they've passed the point of forecast problem waves. So hopefully California, I'm sure there's a lot to recover from a magnitude 7 earthquake, but
yeah,
hopefully no wave damage. So
I was trying to think of a storm in a teacup joke, but I couldn't come up with one. We have wondered what it was going to be like the day that we didn't get a guest, and
actually we talk nonsense all the time, so it's not a problem.
Rubbish. Right, on that basis, thank you very much, team. Thank you very much, everyone, for watching. Have a great weekend. I suspect there won't be that much flying going on. Tie your airplanes down if you can. I won't be here next week, but somebody else will. I look forward to seeing some people will look forward to seeing you on Wednesday for Livestream. Don't forget, if you're not a member, you can join and see Livestream 3 o'clock on a Wednesday afternoon for half an hour. Even more rubbish. Thursday evening for Livestream next week, and the guest is it's a recorded video, and it's Don Cameron, the legend that is Don Cameron, the guy who brought ballooning to the UK and who built the world's biggest balloon factory at one point, I believe. But yeah, absolutely. So looking forward to that. So thank you very much. Have a good one. Enjoy yourselves. Cheers.
Bye.
Hello, this video is sponsored by us, the Fly Club. And if you're not a member already, we'd love for you to join.
Members get access to all of our content, our free landing fees every month, exclusive webinars, and much, much more.
It costs just £5 per month to become a member, so head on over to flyer.co.uk/membership or click the link in the description below.
It's a proper good deal.
It's a bargain.